not only is Joe Biden urging people to go risk their lives to vote for him, sign of a true patriot, but, maybe now's the time. You've been serving your special interest donors, Wall Street, big pharma, private healthcare industry, saying, no, Medicare for all, bad. How are we going to pay for it? We don't have to worry about how we're going to pay for $6 trillion corporate bailout that we just put forward. No, nobody asks how we're going to pay for that they just rammed through. Joe Biden's cheering for this corporate bailout. But 10 million people are now unemployed. The new unemployment numbers came out. 6 million. 6 million claims this past week, to go with another 3.5 million, I believe, the first. The jig is up. How could you, with a straight face, make the claim that right now Medicare for All would not help this situation? There is 10 million people that have been laid off and filed unemployment. That's not to mention however many have been fired that haven't yet filed unemployment. So Medicare for All would not help those people? Well, according to Joe Biden, nope. Quote, the idea that this would have stopped the virus from occurring or would have fundamentally changed anything is just not accurate. This is what Joe Biden says. I don't know if he said it in a press release, in an interview. I don't know if he knew where he was at the time, because he doesn't seem to know where he is half the time. I don't know if he stumbled through this. I don't know where this was said. But he says, no, it wouldn't have stopped the virus, and it wouldn't fundamentally change anything. First of all, who has made the claim that Medicare for All would stop the coronavirus from happening? This is trying to prove a negative bull. Who made that claim? Let me get this straight. Okay, nobody suggested that it would have stopped the coronavirus from happening, but putting that stupidity aside, 10 million people no longer have their health care because, ridiculously in America, health care is linked to your job. So Joe Biden is saying, no, Medicare for All wouldn't help them. Well, what are those people supposed to do? There's 3 options right now. You with me? Maybe some of you in the live chat are in this boat. You either get COBRA, which in New York is $600 a month. By the way, COBRA is $600 a month just to have it. Then you have to pay your normal deductible for the health insurance you have. All COBRA allows you to do is keep your company that just laid you off, keep your health insurance from that company. Then you have to pay massive deductibles, copays, and whatever. So if you're laid off, how are you going to afford paying in New York $600 for COBRA, and then your deductibles if you haven't met it? That's not a plan. That's a prison sentence economically, because people that are laid off also have to figure out how they're going to pay their rent or their mortgage, their groceries, feed their children. They can't afford COBRA. Okay, so the number 2 option is Obamacare. Trump right now is sabotaging Obamacare. He will not reopen the enrollment period. Okay, I think the enrollment period is in November. Trump has refused to reopen it, which is terrible of Trump. I'm not a fan of Obamacare, but it should be reopened. Okay, but with Obamacare, it apparently makes an exception for extraordinary circumstances, like if you've lost your job. Okay, you want to go right now to if I'm in New York, if you go to the Obamacare exchange, the New York exchange, right now, if you got laid off, the shittiest plan probably costs you $400 to $500 a month. The shittiest plan, $400 to $500 a month. It's just unbelievable. If you get laid off, if you're laid off, you can't get Obamacare right now. How are you going to pay $400 to $500 for the cheapest plan on Obamacare? Oh, they say, they'll give you an extra subsidy if you got laid off. Okay, find me the plan that is affordable in New York or in your state on Obamacare. You can't do it. You cannot find an affordable plan because you need that plan to be affordable enough where you still have to pay your rent. You have no money coming in if you've been laid off. You got to pay your rent or mortgage. You got to pay, student loans. You have your normal bills with no money coming in. Oh, I'll get the Affordable Care Act for $300 to $400 a month. Are you kidding me? You want to know something that is a major, that shines a major light right now that Bernie's not even talking about? If he was still actually competing against Joe Biden, he would bring this up. Why do you think it is that we have such a shortage of masks, that we have such a shortage of ventilators, that we have a shortage of everything, and we're relying on China to send it to us? Maybe because we made a trade deal with China and other trade deals that offshored all of our manufacturing in America. We made trade deals that sold our manufacturing jobs to China, Mexico, and other countries. So nothing is actually made here in America anymore. So if you worked in Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, a lot of other Rust Belt states, masks and things like that, they used to be made right here. But Joe Biden and the Democratic Party went along with the Republican Party to sell it all to the lowest bidder, China, Mexico, and other countries. I'm not knocking the Chinese worker or the Mexican worker because they're being exploited just like you and I. It's not their fault. They're trying to earn a living, and it's a living because they're getting paid slave wage. But our politicians are why we don't make anything here anymore, because they sold you, the American worker, man and woman, they sold your jobs to other countries. Bernie's not even bringing this up. So here's what I say about this. Not only is Joe Biden completely full of shit, Joe Biden, by what he's saying, by saying Medicare for All wouldn't make a difference here, Joe Biden, I have to assume, if elected president, what happens when the next pandemic comes? There will be another one, and it might be different. One might be a health pandemic. What happens when the inferno comes? The inferno meaning climate crisis. I don't call it the climate crisis, I call it the inferno. What happens when mass climate refugees come? What happens when the hurricanes, we're having about 3 or 4 massive ones? What happens when that doubles? What happens when whole cities are flooded? When whole communities are flooded? You don't think people are going to get laid off then? You don't think we're going to be stuck in our rooms, our homes? You don't think businesses are going to get shut down? Is Medicare for All not going to help then? It's just insanity. It's disgusting. And honestly, if the American people, frankly, not you, but if the older people voting for Joe Biden, frankly, weren't so blinded and programmed by the media, they would realize the very entitlement that they have right now, that they paid into and they deserve, they are depriving their children and their grandchildren's generation. Not you, because we do have a lot of older viewers that are with it and aren't part of the problem. They are depriving their children and their grandchildren from having the basic protections that they have. All because Chris Matthews and Rachel Maddow and Wolf Blitzer and Jake Tapper and all of these morons told them Joe Biden was the most electable. That's the reality. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.